Yeah. Well, welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy, my handsome partner in the back, Bill. Fiance. And of course, we may see an occasional cat. So if you'll please find your way into a child's pose, fingers spread wide, knees spread the width of your mat, big toes touching, your hips settled back towards your heels, and your forehead connecting to the floor. So together, let's take a full breath in through the nose. Open up the mouth and gently let it go. 3 more like that. We breathe in and we breathe out. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath in. We exhale the air completely. And then just pause here. The nature of yoga is to shine the light of awareness into the darkest corners of the body. So while you're in this posture, see if you can send the breath to those corners. Imagining those cobwebs. With your breath, you're just brushing them away. Let's take another full inhale. Let the air out completely. And just walk your hands to the left. And this time, don't cross one hand on top of the other. Just have your hands parallel. Feel that deeper stretch on the right side of the body. See if you can soften those shoulders away from the ears. Feeling the palms as they connect with the earth. Feeling that gentle stretch under the armpit on that side body. And from here, just rock your head side to side. And then we'll take a walk to the other side. And again, inviting you to have parallel arms in this position this morning. Finding the breath, feeling that gentle tug under that left shoulder, armpit. Melting that shoulder away from the ear. The hands are rooted to the ground. The belly is nice and soft. We'll take another inhalation. Exhale the air out. And we'll walk our hands back to center. And from here, just allow those elbows to connect with the mat, to draw the soles of your palms together. And bending those elbows, the fingers come behind your head. We melt our heart a little deeper. And setting an intention for your practice this morning. Maybe opening up those dark corners of the body with your yoga practice this morning. Let's take another full breath in. We'll exhale the air completely. And then allow your hands to come to the mat. And we'll slowly come onto our hands and knees. And beginning with our cat-cow this morning, we exhale the air out, round that back body, press the shins into the floor, drop the head, straighten through those elbows, and lift that back body up another inch. Inhale, reach the heart forward. We open up those collarbones, sits bones, and eyes towards the sky. Exhale, pull that navel in, let the head be heavy. Just moving with your breath in and out through the nose. Lubricating that spine. Exhale the air completely. Let's take one more inhalation. Exhale the air completely. We'll come back to neutral, and we're going to spin our hands this time in towards the center, and I'll actually face you guys. So your fingers are maybe 4 inches apart. We're going to bend our elbows, and we're tracing our chin along that left arm down to the elbow. Draw the chin towards your wrist, across to the right wrist by the elbow, and then up. So we're opening, again, tracing that chin opening that upper body. Your chin is following your arms, coming up. You can lift that back body. And again, a couple more revolutions in this direction. Just take your time, exploring. It's not supposed to look any way. We're just opening up the cobwebs in our body, shaking out that sleep. And we'll finish this last revolution as you come back all the way to the top, and then we'll change direction. So that chin is tracing down that right arm towards the elbow, down the forearm, across the wrist to the other side, up and over. Finding that breath. Let's take a few more in this direction. You can go as slow or as fast as you'd like. Last one, up and around. And we'll come back to center and just shake out those fingers and wrists. And one more exercise this morning, opening up the body. So we're going to take our hips down towards our heels and just pause here, fanning those right ribs open. Then you shift to that left hip, fan the left ribs open, and reach your heart forward. So maybe adding the booty to it. Exploring. Again, imagine wiping away those cobwebs. Finding that connection to our breath. And we'll change direction here. Steady breathing. 2 more revolutions. Let's take one more inhale. On an exhale, we'll come back to center. And drawing those knees towards one another. We're going to lift that leg up parallel to the floor and find some circles here on our knees. So again, find that exploration in the hip as fast or as slow as you wish. And then we'll change direction. We're breathing. That left shin is rooted into the floor. Now finish that last revolution. We'll just lift that foot up towards the sky and we'll take the knee to the right shoulder and then we'll draw the knee across the left, that right knee across the left knee. Look at that left heel, fan those ribs open. And again, we'll just draw the knee to the shoulder, draw it behind the left knee, gaze at the heel. Let's do 3 more. We breathe in, we cross, and we breathe out. Last 2. Knee behind the left knee, gaze at the heel. 1 more. We take the knee to the shoulder, draw the knee behind the right knee, gaze. Now take the toes to the floor, and you're going to come onto your foot and press through the heel. So you're looking at that right heel, and you'll take your hands to the left side of the mat, even further opening up those ribs. You're fanning them, breathing here. Really press through that right heel. Take another breath in. Gorgeous, everyone. So we'll walk our hands back to the front of the mat. Take that right leg behind you, and we'll lift that heel the height of your hips. That left hand will lengthen out in front of you, so just finding your balance. Breathing in, back of the neck lengthens. On your next inhalation, we draw that elbow in towards your knee. Exhale, we lengthen. 3 more like that. We breathe in, connect, breathe out, and extend. We're squeezing and lengthening. Beautiful. 1 more. Knee in and lengthen. Pause here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hand and knee to the mat. Bump your hips side to side. And we'll come to the other side. So those knees start together. The wrists are underneath the shoulders. So we're going to lift that leg up and we'll find those big circles, lubricating those hip joints. So straightening through those elbows the best of your ability. And you're in charge of the speed that you're opening up and loosening up those hips. So let's please change direction. 2 more big revolutions. Last revolution here. We lift that heel up towards the sky. Now we'll take the knee to the left shoulder. Now cross the knee behind the right knee. Look at that heel. Fan those left ribs open. We'll take 4 more like that. So the knee to the shoulder. Draw it behind the right knee. Gaze at the heel. Last 3, we connect. Draw it across the knee and look. Last 2. Knee to the floor. And last 1, knee to the shoulder. We cross the knee. Now drop the toes to the earth and we'll come up on the toes and press through the heel. And we'll walk our hands to the right side of the mat. So you're really opening up that left side of the body. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Can you press a little deeper through that heel? Finding that breath. Take another inhalation. We exhale the air completely. Walk the hands back to center, the left leg behind you. Now we lift that leg the height of your hips. Maybe flex those toes. Find the stability and then extend that right hand, thumb up towards the sky. So just finding our balance here. Steady breathing. Back of the neck lengthens. Now we'll draw that elbow in towards our knee and we lengthen. We're breathing and extending. Let's take 3 more. Squeeze in and extend. Last 2. Lengthen. Last 1. Beautiful. Find that extension and we'll lower it down. Bump those hips side to side. We'll curl our toes under, lift those sits bones, and enjoy our first downward dog of the day. So pedaling out those feet, opening up the shins, the calves, finding that breath. Ringo's trying to get into the back room. Move out of the way. Pedaling out those feet. So now we'll come onto the balls of the feet, bend those knees, hover them a few inches above the mat, shake out that head, and then slowly begin to lengthen. Lift those sits bones, finding that mountain shape. We're Mount Tam this morning. Heels draw a little further to the floor. Beautiful. Again, we'll come onto the balls of the feet, hover those knees, engage that core, navel in and up towards the spine. Then we begin to extend, lengthen, draw the heels to the mat. 1 more like that. Heels lift. We hover those knees just a couple of inches and slowly begin to lengthen, lift those sits bones. Gorgeous, those heels draw towards the floor. So finding the stillness here in our downward dog. Keep your hands where they are. We're gonna walk those feet about 12 inches closer towards our heels of our hands. If it's available to draw your heels to the floor, please do. Otherwise, soften those knees. And we'll just we'll alternate our right hand towards that left ankle. Steady breathing. Rita's joining us this morning here. And we'll come to the other side. So the left hand comes to the right ankle. Maybe gaze under that armpit. Steady breath. Take 1 more breath here. Slowly release that left hand to the floor. Keep your hands where they are. We'll just walk our feet to the top of the mat. On an inhale, we find that halfway lift. Exhale, crown of the head towards the floor, shake it out. 3 more like that. We breathe in, fingers can rest on the shins, activate that navel in and up towards the spine. Exhale, soften and let go. Last 2, we lengthen and surrender on the exhale, rooting through those feet. 1 more breath in. Exhale the air out. Inhale, rise. Come all the way up. And we'll bring our hands to our heart center. So taking your feet hips distance apart. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead. So I'm crossing my thumbs. And so you're hooking your thumbs together. And we'll just come over to the left. So reaching those fingers towards the opposite direction of your hips. Opening up that chest, maybe slight bend in those knees, go a little further. And we'll inhale back to center and just cross the opposite thumb on top. We lift our hands up high and we'll come to in the opposite direction. So we're fanning those ribs open, soften those knees as much as you need to. Maybe go a little deeper. Beautiful, we'll come back to center. Now we'll cactus those hands out to the side as we lift our hearts, free up the head and neck space. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, we reach our hands up high and forward fold, Uttanasana. Finding that halfway lift. Let's step back into our high plank. So wrists directly underneath our shoulders. And again, we're going to move forwards and backwards, warming up those wrists, our ankles, navel is engaged, and slowly lower all the way to the floor. Elbows hug in, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Untuck the toes, just lifting it, squeeze those elbows in. We'll just warm up that lower back by finding our baby cobra. Exhale that left ear down. Moving with our breath, we inhale. Squeeze those elbows in, opposite ear to the floor. 1 more each side. We breathe in, move from the back of the heart. Left ear down. Last time. Inhale. Exhale, right ear down. We come back through center, toes tuck under. We press through high plank. Beautiful downward dog. Exhale, eyes towards the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts. Let's find our warrior 1 and rise all the way up to the sky. And we're going to cactus our hands out to the sides. So we'll make this a moving warrior 1. So on an inhale, you're going to pitch your heart forward, draw those elbows together, lift up and open. So we're breathing in, we draw those palms together, we lift up and open. 3 more. We scoop and lift and open. Last 2. We breathe in, open our heart. 1 more. Inhale, draw those hands together. We lift, open into that cactus position, then extend your arms up towards the sky. So track that right knee over the right ankle. Steady breath in and out through the nose. Take another breath in. Let's exhale our hands to the floor. Step that right leg back. Pause for 1 minute and for 1 moment in high plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale, eyes towards the back of the mat. We lift that left leg high. Step it forward into warrior 1. Other side. Come all the way up. We'll cactus our hands out to the sides and just open up the hands out to the sides. Breathing in, steady breath. So we'll change direction. So we're going to lift our hands up, forward, and then we're just open, like a wave. We're breathing in, opening up, just exploring, releasing those cobwebs in the body, a more fluidness in our practice this morning. One more time, inhale, we reach forward, and we just open up, and then reach those arms up towards the sky. Spreading those fingers wide, track that left knee over the left ankle, go a little deeper. Your vinyasa, hands to the floor. Beautiful, left leg back. Pause for a moment to low plank. A cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Everything connected to the floor is rooting down to the earth. Back of the neck lengthens. Can you lift those sits bones a little higher? Heels a little closer to the floor. We'll take one more breath in. Exhale the air completely. You bend the knees, walk or maybe hop to the top of the mat. You find that halfway lift. Fold forward. And let's sit into that chair pose. So arms extend, and we turn those pinkies in as we tuck our tail under, squeeze those knees together, and let's drop those hips a couple more inches. We're freeing up that head and neck. Navel is engaged in and up towards our spine. Feel the four corners of the feet as they connect with the floor, and let's drop just a couple more inches deeper. Now we'll interlace our fingers, turn the palms out and drop into that Ardha Utkatasana. So that flat back body, hips in one direction, palms in the other direction. The back of the neck is lengthening. We're squeezing those knees in, navel in and up towards the spine. Keep reaching the hands and hip points in opposite directions for 3, for 2, on 1. Hands to heart center as we fold forward. Beautiful. We find that halfway lift. We step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Nice downward dog. Exhale. Eyes towards the back of the mat. That right leg lifts. We exhale the knee to the right elbow. Pause for a moment. And extend that leg up towards the sky. Now we'll cross that knee to the left elbow. Maybe they connect and find that extension. Now step the leg forward. Come all the way into that high lunge. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Breathing in here. On an exhale, we're going to pitch forward again. Find that length. Navel is just hovering above that right thigh. So find that extension, and now take that left hand in the inside of the front foot. We find that easy twist. Arms reach up towards the sky. Now draw that right knee and left shoulder in towards that center line. Now, Cookie, this is your favorite posture. We're going to reach that right hand towards the back, come all the way up, finding that twisting position. So our arms are spread wide. And now we'll just spin to the left. So take those arms all the way around, left heel on the floor. So we're in our warrior 2. Soften those shoulders down the back body. Breathe in, and let's reverse our warrior. Right palm high. We fan those right ribs open. Keep tracking that right knee over the right ankle. That left hand can gently slide down that left leg, or maybe scoop it into that hip crease. Finding that breath. 2 more breaths here. 1 more inhale. On an exhale, we find our way into warrior 2. Now forearm on thigh, left arm up and over, and let's open up that shoulder. Lubricating the shoulder joints, steady breathing. Let's take 1 more revolution in this direction. and then we'll change direction. Taking your time, slowing it down. The head traces the hand. Beautiful, one more. And let's come back into warrior two. Please straighten that right leg, setting up for our triangle. So we bump our hips back, and we'll make this a moving triangle first. So we reach our right fingers forward, then we come back all the way up to center, a tall spine. Three more. We reach, and we come back to home. Two more. We're breathing, we're lengthening. Engage that core, back to center. Last one here. We reach, then allow the hand to fall on a brick. The shin, left hand high, spread those fingers wide. Slow down the breath. Swallow. Maybe close your eyes here, feel the posture. And we'll gently open up those eyes if you close them. We'll take that left hand over the left ear. Now inviting that right hand to meet it. You're holding that beach ball. For three, for two, on one, we come back into warrior two. Now we'll cycle through our vinyasa. Hands to the floor, right leg back, high to low. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Pause and breathe. Steady breathing in and out through the nose. Shake out that head. We'll draw our toes into a center line. Left leg lifts up towards the sky. And an exhale, draw the knee outside that left elbow. Pause, navel is engaged. Then we find that length, point through the toes. Slowing this down. On the next inhale, we cross to that right elbow. Maybe it connects. We lengthen. Gaze is towards the back of the mat. Maybe draw that right heel closer to the floor. Now we step that leg forward, finding our way into high lunge. Come all the way up. Steady breathing. Reach those arms up towards the sky. We reach to that right heel. Track that left knee over the left ankle. Now we're pitching our body forward. So find that extension, that length. Back of the neck lengthens. Your navel is just hovering over that left thigh. Toes are spread wide. Then we drop that right hand in the inside of that front foot and find that easy twist. Steady breathing. Squeezing that left knee and right shoulder into that center line. So we're rooting through our feet, engaging that core. That left hand is going to lift towards the back of your mat. So we'll come all the way up. Use that core. Tall spine. You just find that scissor action in the hips. Keep your hands where they are. We'll just spin to the right. Come all the way into warrior two. Beautiful. So we'll drop into the hips. Relax those shoulders. Track that left knee over the left ankle. Hips and chest towards the side. Now hug the muscles to the bones. We'll turn that left palm high and reverse. Keep tracking that left knee forward so that right hand can gently hang out on that right leg, or we take that hand into the hip crease. So options with our eye gaze, looking towards the outer edge of that back foot, or gazing towards that upper hand. Find that breath. We take one more inhale here. On an exhale, back into warrior two. Now forearm on thigh, right arm up and over, and we find those very slow shoulder openers. So again, maybe tracing your head, following that hand. Taking your time. Watching those sensations bubble up in that left leg, and then we'll change direction. Enjoying that breath. Opening up all the joints in the body. One more revolution here. And then pause with that arm, right hand over the head. Take another breath in. On an exhale, back into warrior two. Now straighten that left leg. Wow. Find our triangle. So bump the hips towards the right, and we'll start by just extending that left hand, the left fingers, reach, reach, reach. Then we come back to center. Navel is engaged. Find the rootedness of your feet. 3 more like that. We're breathing, lengthening, reaching a little further. We'll come back to home. Last 2, moving with our breath, or just back to center. And this last one, we find that exploration, find a little deeper reach, then find triangle, Trikonasana. The right hand reaches up. Spread those fingers wide. Again, option to gaze towards the toes or towards that upper hand. Maybe close your eyes. Breathe in for 3, for 2, on 1. We flutter our eyelids open. We'll take that right hand over the right ear. Then invite that left hand to meet it. You're holding that imaginary beach ball. Breathe in for 3, for 2, on 1. We'll find our way back into warrior 2. This time we'll just straighten the left leg, spin your toes in. So we have that legs distance here. A full breath in. On an exhalation, hinge from those hip creases. Allow those finger pads to just come to the floor. Shake out that head. And we'll find some twists so that left hand comes in the center of your mat. Feet are rooted. Inhale that right hand high. Maybe drop that right hand a little deeper. And we'll allow that right hand to come to the mat. It changes places with the left hand. On the inhale, the left hand reaches high. And maybe drop it a little further behind you. And slowly lower that left hand down. One more each side, please. We breathe in, we lengthen, clear those cobwebs out of the body. And that right hand comes to the mat. Last side, that inhalation extends that left hand high, fingers spread wide. Drop that hand a little deeper. And then we'll slowly lower that left hand to the floor. Now walk those hands closer towards your toes. Maybe soften those knees, hinging from the hip creases. The crown of the head comes towards the floor, maybe on a brick. So the wider the legs, the easier it is to draw the head down. Our destination is not to get the crown of the head towards the floor, but to safely open up the back of the hamstrings, the lower back. Maybe shake that head out. Swallow a few times. And draw your shoulders away from your ears. So the shoulders are headed towards your hips. 2 more breaths. We take 1 more inhale. On an exhale, please lift the head. We'll spin those left toes out and just find that inner groin stretch. So that right foot is flexed. Hands can stay supported here, or inviting you to bring your hands to your heart center. So the left heel may be connected to the floor, it may not. It's just a matter of how open your body is this morning. Lift that heart, and we'll come to the other side. So you find a deep bend in that right knee, flex the left toes, drop into those inner groins, stay supported, or bring your hands to your heart center. Find that breath. 1 more each side. So that left knee bends, right toes flex, heart lifts. And we'll find that last side. So the right knee bends, the left toes flex, melt into those inner groins, lift the heart. We'll drop the Left foot to the floor, finding that forward fold one last time. Crown of the head towards the floor. Maybe walk your hands, your fingers towards, underneath your mat, towards the back of your space. A slight bend in the knees. We'll walk our hands center. We'll take our hands on our hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Beautiful. And just heel toe those feet in. Now we'll take our heels and our toes out. We drop into our hips. So hand support on our thighs. We'll make this a moving meditation with our breath. So we'll draw that right shoulder towards our left knee. Inhale. Exhale back to center. We inhale and reach. Exhale, lift. 3 more on this side. We're breathing. Coming back to home. Last 2. We inhale. Last time, shoulder to knee. Back to center, and we'll change sides. So left shoulder towards that right knee with our inhale. Exhale to home. We're reaching. Coming back to center. Nice. 3 more. Find that length. Last 2. And last one. Shoulder to the knee. We come back to home. Drop into those hips. So we'll cactus those hands. Little pulses here. We'll lift that right heel and pulse for 5, 4, 3. Looking good, you guys. 2. On 1, right heel down, left heel lifts. We pulse, pulse. 3, 2, 1. Keep the heel where it is. Lift the right heel. Find that balance for 3, for 2. On 1, heels down. Straighten those legs. Wow. Walk those heels in. Heel toe. Samastitihi. Hands at heart center. Just pause and breathe. Let's slow everything down. Lick your lips. Relax your face. So just taking a quick body scan this morning. And we'll flutter our eyelids open. And finding our tree this morning. So right foot in the inner left thigh. Bringing your hands to your heart center. So extending our branches up towards the sky. Spread the fingers wide. So our palms are up towards the sky. We're drinking in that sunlight. Extending our branches. Rooting into the earth. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last 2. And on 1, we gather our palms together, lower our prayer to our heart center, that right foot to the floor, pause and breathe. And let's just, between sides, release our hands alongside the body. Turn the palms up towards the front of you. Just feeling that prana, that life energy, surging through the body. Beautiful, and we'll take the other side. So that left foot comes in the inner right thigh. We bring our hands to our heart. Find that rootedness of the right foot. Then let's lift our branches. Turn our palms up. Maybe lift your gaze up towards that sky. Again, imagine we're just drinking in that sunlight. Our branches are reaching towards the sun. Find that breath. 2 more breaths. Last inhale. We'll bring our hands to our heart center, lower them to our heart, and cycle through a vinyasa. A full breath in, a full breath out. Find that halfway lift. Please step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. And then please come down to your knees, untuck the toes. Our back warmer this morning will be Ustrasana. So I'm giving myself a little extra support, rolling my mat open. Knees, hips distance apart. We'll take our hands on our lower back. Hug those elbows in. Option to tuck your toes under for this first one, or just keeping those shins rooted. So on the inhalation, lift the heart, squeeze those elbows in. We press our hips towards the front of our space. Open up the throat. Just pause here. Our eyes are bright. Exploration a little deeper for some of you, finding the heels, finding that bow opening of the heart. Couple more breaths. We'll take another inhalation here. Complete that exhalation. Our hands come back on our hips. Now we'll tuck our toes under and drop our sits bones towards our heels. So opening up those arches. Interlace our fingers. We find that figure eight. And we'll change direction. You can go so fast. Let's just shake out those hands. We'll take one more Ustrasana, camel. So add a little more sensation back into the feet, rooting through the shins. Last camel this morning, so hands, same setup on our lower back. We hug those elbows in. So connect those shins, open up the tops of the feet. I like to feel the toenails, so we really find that firm foundation. Squeeze those elbows in. The side body expands as we lift our hearts and press, our hip bones towards the front of the mat. So stay here, find that breath, or explore a little deeper, reaching for the heels. Soften through the jaw. 2 more breaths. We take one more inhale. Finish that exhalation and come all the way up. Nice. We'll release our hands to the floor. Spread those knees wide. Yes, it's time for another child's pose. So forehead to the floor. Let's collectively sigh it out. So we'll take a full breath in. Just sigh it out. 2 more. We breathe in. Let's take one more breath in. We'll shift onto our hands and knees. Cross the ankles. Untuck the feet. Feet are parallel, and we'll just draw our arms around, finding that seated hug. So just nestle your forehead into your knees. We pull our shoulders away from our ears. Swallow a few times. Unhinge that jaw. Feeling the rootedness of your feet and the sits bones connected to the floor. Now please lift your head. We're all set up for our boat pose. So hands reach forward, hover those feet off the floor, or maybe extend those legs up towards the sky. Breathing here, cultivating that breath for 3, for 2, and on 1. Let me make a little more room here. So we'll invite you to bring your knees now in towards your chest and then extend. You squeeze in and lengthen. You can also support your hands behind you. Lengthen. 6, 5. We're breathing. 4, 3. Looking good, you guys. 2. On 1. Drop your feet to the floor, and we'll come onto our back bodies. And hug those knees into your chest. swallow. And we'll release our hands alongside the body. Now extend your legs up towards the sky. We're gonna cross our right ankle underneath our left. And just tick-tock your hips side to side. And your hands are going to support underneath your lower back. So we'll take a breath in here. On an exhale, we lower the legs a third of the way down. Inhale, lift those legs. Now exhale 2/3 of the way down. Pause. We're not tick-tocking.
Here we are.
Inhale, we lift. This time, we lower 2 inches above the floor. Look at your toes, little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Lift those legs all the way up. And then unwrap the legs, and we'll take the different wraps. So that left ankle is going to come underneath the right. And we'll tick-tock again, those legs side to side. And then pause in stillness here. We take a breath in. Exhale a third of the way down. Now inhale, come all the way up. Now 2/3 of the way down. Pause here. Inhale, we lengthen. Now 2 inches above the mat. Gaze at the toes, little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, we lift those legs all the way up. Unwrap those legs, now toes side to side. Last sequence, we take a full breath in. We lower those feet a third of the way. Pause there, straighten through those legs. Relax the head and shoulders to the floor. Now we take them 2/3 of the way down. Breathe in. As we breathe out, 2 inches above the mat. Look at the toes, and then we'll just crisscross those legs all the way back up to center and hug those knees in. Nice work. We'll cactus those arms out to the side as we drop our knees to the right. And gazing over that right shoulder. Feeling the back of the hands as they connect with the floor. That gentle twist in the lower spine. We hug those knees back to center. Please take the knees in the opposite direction. Taking a gaze over that left shoulder. Soften through the jaw, the face, cheekbones, forehead. We'll take those knees back to center now. Hands behind the knees. We'll rock the spine. 3 or 4 rocks into our downward dog. So you can cycle through a vinyasa or just step back into downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts. And let's step that right foot outside the right hand, finding our lizard. And again, we'll rock our lizard backwards and forwards. Really opening up our ankles this morning. Then taking that left knee to the floor, we can untuck the toes, straightening through those arms, stay here, or we bring our forearms to the floor, maybe to the brick. Dropping the head, shake out the head. Opening up our ears. We'll take one more inhale. We let it go. And we'll just walk our right foot across the mat, finding our way into pigeon. So the right knee towards the right thumb, that left leg extends. Walk those hands forward, forehead to the back of the hands. We pull our shoulders away from our ears. So about 30 seconds here of silence. Just trace that breath in and out through the nose. 2 more breaths. We take a final full inhale. Let it go. Just lift our heart. Walk your hands back towards the center body. Option to bend that left knee. Take the left hand behind and draw that heel in. We spin our chest and our hips towards the front of our mat. Option to draw that foot into the elbow crease. Maybe lift that opposite hand. So play your edge, honoring your body, where it is this morning. Then we'll release everything. Tuck the toes in, step through downward dog or cycle through vinyasa. We'll take the other side when you're ready. That left leg lifts. And we step it outside that left hand into our lizard. So the left foot on a 45-degree angle, and then just rock back and forth, opening up the ankle and the wrists again. And that right knee comes to the floor. We untuck our toes, straightening through those arms. And then an option to explore a little deeper by taking those forearms to the mat. So let go of any tension in the head or neck. Soften the face. We unhinge our jaw. Where do you feel the breath in the body? We're clearing out those cobwebs, creating more inner light in our bodies. And from here, we'll find our way into pigeon. Walk that foot across the mat, left knee towards the left thumb. That right leg extends behind you. Walking your hands forward, melting into the posture. Again, about 30 seconds of silence. Just trace that breath in and out through the nose. We have 2 more breaths. Last full inhale. Finish that exhalation. We lift our hearts and walk those hands back towards the center of our body. Option to bend that right knee. Take that right hand behind. Top of the foot. You can hook the toes into that elbow. Maybe extend that left hand high. And just being content where your body is this morning. And we'll let it go. Release that leg and take weight into that left hip. We'll swing those legs around and we'll find our Baddha Konasana, our butterfly this morning. So our soles of the feet together. So just flapping our butterfly wings. And from here, make a wider, a longer, more diamond shape with the body. You can find those support of your ankles, maybe draw those elbows, allowing gravity to draw them a little deeper, and maybe finding your chest a little closer to the floor. So this will look different for everyone. There's no destination in this posture. We're just finding different openings in the body. It's different for each of us. We'll lift our hearts, turning our legs out, extending them. Let's just take one more forward fold so we release that extra flesh, full breath in, and melt forward, soften through those knees. And just breathe, send that breath to the back body, nourishing our kidneys. In fact, you can give the kidneys a little bit of love here, massaging them. And we'll take our time as we just slowly Lift our head, our chest, and just take your time as you allow that back body to come to the floor. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Just move your head side to side. And find stillness in your Shavasana. And we find that next full incoming breath. Make some noise as you let it go. Oh. Inhale those arms up overhead. Spreading the fingers and toes. Just sigh it out. And hugging those knees into your chest. And roll onto either side of the body. Pause for a breath or two. We'll slowly find our way to a comfortable seated position. Hands supporting on top of your thighs. Just acknowledging this gift you gave yourself this morning. Opening up the body, connecting with the breath, quieting that mind, and connecting with community. So inviting you to join your hands to your heart center. Let's close class with one beautiful Om. Please sit in the inhalation. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Make it a great day. Thanks, everyone. Small class, but a beautiful class. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great day.
Have a great day.